Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Empower Half Hour. I'm your host, Patty Marmon, and I am super excited to be talking with Meghan Meier tonight. Yay! So
Hi.
and for those of y'all listening, you might be aware that many women are looking for a job in direct sales, and direct sales companies are bringing in over $145 billion a year. And it's evident that a lot of direct sale companies are providing a lot higher quality product, as well as inspirational training that's helping to explode their bottom line. Pure Romance is one of the leading companies on the cutting edge of the direct sales business. And we offer bath, beauty, lingerie, massage products, as well as relationship enhancement items. And education and information to strengthen couples' relationships and keep single women safe. Our high quality line of product is unique, and our hostess plan is extraordinary. And most importantly, Pure Romance cares about their consultants. Our mission: empower, educate, and entertain. A consultant has the opportunity to earn anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month just from doing a couple of parties, as well as earning a six-figure income through our inspirational supportive training programs and support programs. Pure Romance has changed the life of Meghan Meier, and especially a lot of the consultants she leads. So tonight, we're going to hear what the buzz is all about with Miss Meghan. So please help me welcome. Yay, Meghan. Woohoo. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear and for you to share. Oh, your story is incredible. It's amazing. And how much you've done with your business over a short period of time. Could you share a little bit about how you got started with Pure Romance?
Of course. So I always joke that if you'd asked me 4 years ago what I was going to be when I grew up, that a sex toy lady was totally not on the list. This was not in my life plan. This was not on my bucket list. I literally was laid off on a Friday, and my girlfriend Marie was hosting one of these parties that Saturday. I'd never been invited to a party before. I'd never been to a party before. I had heard about them. And when I lost my job, I called her and I was like, I can't come. I just lost my job. I can't buy anything. And she was like, Meghan, I haven't seen you in months. You're going to come. There's wine. You love wine. So I went, I had some wine, and I was kind of actually a little rude to the consultant because I kept interrupting her and telling her how much that I knew, and I knew all about that toy, and I had like one of those at home, and that I would happily volunteer. So I was
you were that consultant.
Yeah. And so she pulled me aside and she said, listen, you seem to know a lot about the products, and I understand that you just lost your job. So had you ever thought about doing what I do? And I live in South Carolina, so I, of course, demurred and said, oh, I can't do that. I go to church. And she told me that she also went to church and she hadn't been struck by lightning yet. So she gave me some information to take home. And as soon as I got home, my boyfriend was peppering me with questions, asking me what I wanted to get, if he needed to buy anything for us to try right away, or, all of that. So it took me a couple weeks, but I eventually called her up with a boatload of questions, and she walked me through all of them, and it was the last day of a half-off kit sale. So I put my kit on my credit card and thought I'd give it 3 months and I'd see what happened. But by the end of 3 months, I was paying my mortgage in full every single month. So I was sold.
Oh my gosh. Wow. In just 3 short months.
Mm-hmm.
Could you share a little bit about what you did? Like, you got started, and with 3 months, you're already paying a mortgage. What did you do to make that happen?
I didn't have a job, so I had a whole lot of time. So I sat in my dining room in front of my laptop exploring the COO. This is before they had Party School. So I was just on our back office online and reading everything I could get my fingers on. I was inside the community forums, asking questions and trying to find other people in the area. And I watched videos. I searched on YouTube. I posted one thing on my Facebook page, and I just asked, hey, I'm thinking about getting into this. What have you guys heard? Just asking my friends, and I had 3 or 4 people pop up and say, oh my gosh, we've always wanted to have one of those parties, but we didn't want a stranger. So if you did this, this would be great. So I already had some friends that were excited to book a party with me. So I just literally, for a few weeks, I just camped out in front of my computer and just committed to learning everything that I didn't know.
Wow, that's awesome. You definitely jumped into the student mode right away.
Oh, right away.
So Megan, let me ask you, one thing you said was that you go to church. You had told the consultant.
Yeah.
So could you tell me a little bit about that? If someone else that is listening and they're like, oh my gosh, I go to church, what is my pastor going to think? Or what is my priest going to think?
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
Well, I'm lucky that the churches that I've always attended have been fairly open-minded. It's just, that's not the case in a lot of churches in the South. So I personally didn't really have a problem with it. I was more worried about other people's perceptions. But I told my pastor what I was doing or what I was thinking of doing, and he was actually really supportive. And he said, Megan, you don't understand how this is going to really help women. We meet so many people in the church that come from broken homes or that have issues because they just don't have the knowledge base. They don't know how their bodies work. So then they get into a marriage and women expect their husbands to know how a woman's bodies work. And that, obviously isn't always the case. Mm-hmm. So we always in the business, we joke that sex and finances are the two biggest reasons for a relationship to end, and that we with Pure Romance can help with both of them. And what I found is, after 4 years in the business, my church-going customers and my pastors' wives are some of my most loyal customers because they know what it takes to keep a marriage long-lasting and spicy over the course, of a marriage. So it's going to take a couple little items here and there. The same old's not going to work for those 30, 40, 50-year marriages. You got to keep that spice alive.
Oh, I love that. I agree, definitely. So could you tell me a little bit about maybe what have you enjoyed most about Pure Romance? And I know there's a lot, so you can definitely share a couple of things.
When I get asked this at parties, I have my kind of standard answer, but it changes every year. So overall, what I've loved so much about this opportunity is just the flexibility I've had. I unfortunately, within my first year of business, I lost 2 grandparents, so 2 out of 3, and taking that much bereavement time would, to be able to spend that time with my family and see people that I don't typically get to see. I wouldn't have had that kind of luxury to be able to hang out with my grandma, who turned 97 this year, I believe. 96. She's going to turn 97. So to be able to spend time with my family, the vacations I've gotten to go on, I planned a whole entire wedding within my first year and a half of business. So if I had done that on a 9-to-5 schedule, I probably would have gotten fired. So the flexibility has just been astounding. Being able to see my family, I can travel when I want. I can afford to travel when I want. This summer I got to do a 2-week road trip up to New York and back to visit my grandmother because she's getting ready to sell the family farm because, at 96, it's a little bit too much for her to deal with by herself. To be able to spend 2 weeks, which would have been all my vacation time at another job, but then I got to go to all our conventions and I got to meet up with some of my college friends for a grown-up spring break down in Key West earlier this year. So just having that flexibility to make my own schedule has really been the biggest blessing.
Oh, that is so awesome. That is your grandma, 96 years old.
I know. She's a spitfire too.
You didn't have to ask anybody for the time off.
Nope.
Oh, I love that. Well, Megan, you are definitely full of energy, and I know your parties are super fun. Could you share a little bit about why your customers keep coming back to you?
I think they come back because they know it's going to be a fun night. Anyone who's been to one of my parties knows that if there's anything awkward that's going to happen, it's going to be me that's doing it. So all the pressure's off them. They don't have to feel weird about attending. And they know that I'm going to give them great service. They know that I make a joke that I'm your vagina's concierge. That, your vagina keeps me in business, so it's my number one priority. So I'm going to take really good care of my customers. And I know that they respect that and understand that because they call me. They call me with questions. They call me when we have a new product launch and they want to know what, based on their personality and what other products they've got, what's going to be a good fit for them with one of the new products. But they also know that I'm going to be there when things go wrong. I'm going to be there if, they're trying to raise money for their kids' Cub Scout troop, or they, someone had a house fire. They know that I'm going to be there and I'll help them in whatever way I can, because it's not just about your vagina, but it's about the person as a whole. And I love my customers, and I definitely want to make sure I'm taking really good care of them.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. Oh,
thank you.
Vagina concierge. That is the first. That's so cool. So Meghan, so say there's someone out there watching this, and they're like, she's just talked about how to help someone, and I'm not sure how to do that, or I'm not real sure about sexual health information or education, or even what the products are, or how to talk about them. Could you share a little bit about our new consultant training program and how a new consultant can get started?
Definitely. Well, this is the great thing about Pure Romance, is that as long as you have a passion for helping women, you'll succeed with this business. You don't have to be an expert on anything yet. As soon as you get started, they lay it all out for you. So we've got Party School, which is literally just like an online class. And so you progress through it, you get to take little electives to get extra bonus points, but it walks you through everything. And one of the things that I really recommend to my new consultants is the fact that we have cue cards. I know for my first couple months of business, I had a script. I have a theater background, so I printed out a script of everything I was going to say, and I literally held my notebook and I read off my script. So all the products, everything I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to tell everybody about the products, it was all written down in a script. But we have those cue cards already available for our consultants. So as soon as you get access to our online office, you can download them, and then you can do flashcards. I know that I made my boyfriend at the time, now husband, quiz me, like I was in school again. He would hold up, a picture of an item, and I had to tell him what it was and what flavors it came in and how much it cost. And so that was kind of a really fun but easy way to kind of quiz myself to become a little bit more knowledgeable about the products. Now, when it comes to sexual health, we have so much information. Not only do we have amazing doctors on staff that come speak to us at our national conventions and conferences, but we've got a whole partnership with the Kinsey Institute. So there's even an online course through them where you can get a certification. And I think it's sexual health, or the beginnings towards people who are working towards a sexual health therapy degree, which I think is really kind of cool. So that's something that's been on my bucket list for a couple of years, and I think I'm actually going to buckle down and tackle it in 2016 and take that course, because our customers expect us to be experts, and you can fake it till you make it for a while, but you never want to give them the incorrect information. So when all else fails, I've just asked my customers, can I get back to you in a day or two? I want to make sure I get you the right answer on that. And most of them are perfectly fine because they don't want to be lied to, and of course you don't want to tell them incorrect information. So that's been helpful.
So it sounds like, yes, that we have support, that if you don't know the answer, we can find the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that. And we're all continuing to learn. Oh, I love that. So could you talk a little bit more about training and the process? Say a new consultant signs up with you. Would you mind sharing your process?
Sure. So when a new consultant signs up with me, the first thing I'm going to do is try to get in front of them for a coffee date. So usually I'll take my recruits out for a coffee just to kind of see where they're at, get a timeline, all that kind of fun stuff. But then I like to do, a second interview. So when they sign on and they get their kit, then we'll buckle down and talk more about, where do you see this going? What do you want to achieve with this business? What kind of time can you commit to it? Is this going to be a hobby for you? Is this going to be, a little bit more than a hobby? Or are you quitting your job tomorrow because you want to pursue pure romance full time? And that way we can kind of come up with an action plan. So once I get them on the team inside, we go out for coffee, and then I offer a weekly new consultant webinar. So that way, all my new consultants, it's an 8-week course. You can pop in wherever you're at, and once you complete all 8 weeks, even if they're not, in the correct order, then you'll get recognition at our team meeting. But that's going to help kind of supplement what they're going to learn on Party School. So those are just weekly kind of check-ins. It's a little bit more in-depth for some of the things that are touched on in Party School. And of course, we have team meetings. So we offer team meetings every single month here in Greenville, South Carolina. So we encourage all of our team members, new, seasoned, wherever you're at in the business, to come to those, because no matter what, you're going to learn something, and you're going to meet other people. And we always encourage our new consultants to bring a friend, because it's so much more fun to get into the business when you bring a friend and you can both figure it out together. And then we are implementing quarterly new consultant boot camps starting next year. So that way it's just, an intense, long, maybe like 3-hour-long booking blitz. We're going to do a lot of training for getting those parties on the books. We can tell, pick up the phone, call your friends, but until you're kind of sitting down in a room full of other people doing it, sometimes it's a little bit more challenging to put the pedal to the metal.
Well, it sounds like then when someone wants to get started with pure romance, they're in business for themselves, but they're not by themselves.
Oh, never.
And so they have all this great support, and it's however much they want to do. It's based on what their dreams or goals are. And absolutely love that. So Megan, say someone's out there, they want to get started, they're doing this training. Could you go through what an average new consultant makes, and then what's possible? Share a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, so a typical new consultant would probably start out making about 40% out of whatever they sell that evening. So we always, in the South, we use $500 as a baseline party average. So if you are a brand new consultant, say your first party is about $500, your take-home pay is going to be about $200, which isn't going to be too shabby. Obviously, when you're new, depending on your attendance, it might be a little lower. So we'd say anywhere between like $150 to $200 is a good starting average. But of course, I'm going to work with my new consultants to make sure that they're hostess coaching and they're getting lots of attendees there, because the more people that show up to the party, the more people that will spend money, and the bigger paycheck the consultant's going to have, if that's what's motivating them. So I would say on average, if you plan for $150, then when you make $200, then it's just like an extra bonus $50.
And could you share, you've been in business 4 years. Could you share some of your numbers? What's possible?
Oh my goodness.
You're a President's Club member, so for several years. So
yes. I actually, I just had a 2016 strategy session with my team yesterday where I had to go through all my numbers, and I can pull it back, and my first official month in business, my average take-home salary was $73 per party. But that was, of course, that's 2011. I only did 4 parties that month. We were just starting right out of the gate. I didn't know anything. So I'm learning a lot now. And right now, it looks like my average take-home is anywhere between $250 and $300 per party. I average about 10 parties a month at this point. I aim for between 8 and 12, just depending on the month and obviously what we've got going on. But it's just been really, I'm a spreadsheet nerd, so it's been really fun to be able to track and see that $73, and you put it on a chart, and now it's all the way up here at like $300. So it's really nice to know that when I need more money, I can go out and make it really easily.
Oh my gosh. So if someone's listening and watching this, so they can make this extra money, could you share about how much time on average maybe you spend to make that $250, $300 a show? And then could you also share how would someone get paid as a new consultant?
Yeah. So on my baseline, I use 4 hours for a typical party. So that includes travel time and any back end paperwork when I get home from the party. So that's how I figure out what my salary was, or my hourly rate is based on 4 hours. So that's great for new consultants, just to kind of block out 4 hours in their calendar. If you only want to do one party a week, then you're looking at a 4-hour commitment. If you're looking at 3 parties a week, then we're looking at closer to a 12-hour commitment. And that's perfect for when you're just getting started. Depending on if you decide to grow a team, you might throw in an extra hour here and there for team training, all that kind of fun stuff. But what I love is that you get paid when you party. So you don't have to wait. Like if I had a bill come up and I didn't have any way to pay it, if I could get 5 to 10 of my girlfriends together on Thursday, then I can have a party and I can pay that bill. I don't have to wait for Pure Romance to cut me a check. I get paid when people shop. So like, for instance, any of my customers that bought anything from me this weekend, all those deposits went straight into the bank. It's right there waiting for me on Monday morning. If it's cash, I can keep it and spend it all weekend. Yay! But then once a month, because I do have a team, corporate is nice enough to send me my override check. So that's the only time I'm ever waiting on money from corporate. Every other time, it's just immediate. I go out, I earn the money, it's in my bank account.
Oh, I love that. Would you mind sharing? So override is one of the benefits with Pure Romance. Could you share some of the other benefits and incentives for new consultants, but also when you're in the business, longer in the business?
Yeah. So one of the things that really motivated me was our free product credit, because I looked at that as an extra bonus. So when you hit a minimum sales of $1,000, Pure Romance is going to give you $50 in free product that you get to choose. So if you know that your best sellers are Hot Hearts and, let's say, Boost, so you could get 2 Hot Hearts and a Boost, because those retail up to $50, and then you can go and sell those full price, and now you just made $50. No questions asked. You don't have to give any of that money back to corporate. So when I first got started, that was something I always made sure my monthly totals were aligned to free product level, and I counted that as income because I knew I'd sell it for full price. So that's just one of the amazing ways that Pure Romance pays us. When you start growing a team, like I said, the override checks are nice. There's different incentives where you can earn trips. Sometimes they incentivize you with money for trips. So they'll cover your airfare for you, and then you just get a big check. You're like, oh, where'd this come from? And then you know it's going to cover your airfare, but if you've got points or you've got frequent flyer miles, then that's just money in your pocket.
Oh, love that. Thinking outside the box.
Oh, yeah. So you also get recognition at different levels. I've been on President's Club now for, I think, 3 years, and I've won 4 trips with Pure Romance, so that's always fun. So it's nice when someone else is picking up the tab for vacation. I got my necklace for hitting a senior director level. I know you get earrings too. So there's different ways to kind of have corporate show you that they value what you're bringing to the organization. It's always nice. It's always nice. And then, of course, you know, when you show up to things like the Do Life Different tour, you'll get certificates with your name on them. So if you're motivated by just putting a piece of paper up on your wall, you know, we could have walls full of certificates. And it's amazing. It's so nice to have that just as a reminder of like, oh my gosh, I really got to pick it up if I want to get a certificate at the next meeting. Or, oh my gosh, look at what I've done. This has been amazing.
Oh, I love it. So the recognition is amazing. Did you ever get that in a previous job?
No. I was lucky if I got a holiday bonus, which I never did. I worked in nonprofits, so there was never bonus money to get. But yeah, I never got recognition. I'd get a thank you, and thank you is great. But I know my love language is acts of service. So having that, which is really kind of nice. I know a lot of people are motivated by the words of affirmation and seeing their name up. That's great. So I'm really excited when I see my team members respond to that, because I know that they're not necessarily getting that at their 9-to-5s either. So if I can give that to them, I know that's going to help them stay motivated and stay in the business.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Megan, if someone wants to get started, how would they get started?
Well, if you don't already have a consultant, you could go on the corporate website or and have one assigned to you, or you could just Google someone in your area and kind of figure out who you most like or you really align with. But if you have a consultant, reach out to them because they definitely want to be there to hold your hand. They're invested in you and your happiness. But it's really simple. All you have to do is go on the consultant's website. You can go on Join My Team, click the little button that says Join My Team. You can order your starter kit, and they are on sale this month like nobody's business. So all you got to do is fill out some information, and then it's like Christmas because 3 days after you get your kit, or after you order your kit, it shows up on your doorstep, and it's like, boom, hearts and flowers. It's amazing. The possibilities inside that white box are amazing. You never know what's going to happen as a result of that business. So it's super, super easy to get started.
So Megan, if someone wants to join your team, what website? Could you share your website?
My website is www.prbymegan, and that's MEGHAN.com. Or you could go to pureromance.com/MEGHANMEIER, which is why I got another smaller one. This is a lot of vowels. But that's my Pure Romance website. I also have a blog on WordPress. So if you wanted to go to prbymegan.wordpress.com, you can find my information there. Then that will link you to my website. But it's super, super easy. Come on, if y'all are ready, come on, join my team. I'm ready for you. Let's do it.
And by the way, your blog is amazing. It is amazing. Please take a look at her blog. Everybody, go to her WordPress site. It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, Megan, someone joins your team, gets signed up. Could you share? Or do we have quotas? Any quotas?
Well, here's the great thing: is that we have quotas, but they are so minimal. If you take a shower, you're going to hit your quota. I went through my medicine cabinet the other day, and I actually took a video of it because I had one of my customers ask me, do you actually use your products? And I didn't, want to go through my nightstand. But in my bathroom alone, I think I had 13 products, and those are consumables. So I use those up. I can easily meet my quota just on myself. So what's great is that it's only $100 every 60 days. So $100 every 2 months. But in a shave cream and body dew and the body silk, if you're using our lubricants or any of our other products, it's super easy to meet that quota. And the great thing is with the holidays coming, if you're finding that you're struggling staying active or meeting your quota, these make amazing gifts. Everybody wants a hot heart for Christmas. It's about to get cold. I was using mine earlier this morning because we had a cold snap just to keep my hands warm while I was typing. Just buy everybody that you love a hot heart.
And what a great tax write-off too, right?
Oh, it's amazing. My first year of business, I think my family thought I gave them, the world. They were like, these are the best Christmas gifts ever.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, as we get ready to end, could you share maybe one or two of your most memorable moments? Especially, I'd love for you to share your experience when you went on TV.
Yeah, so I, coming from a nonprofit and a theater background, I've always had to think outside the box, especially when it comes to funding. I always had to get creative when it came to making money. And the great thing with Pure Romance is that everybody wants your products. But I knew with Valentine's Day coming up, which is one of our biggest selling seasons, which is why you want to buy your kit now so you can be ready for Valentine's Day, y'all. Seriously, do it. I knew that I had to think outside the box with how to set myself apart and also try to find another way to market my business. My calendar I knew wasn't going to be as full as I wanted it to be because I literally work every single day in February. But I also knew this past year with 50 Shades of Grey coming out, that was going to be a wonderful opportunity to market the business, but not only market my business, but to help kind of take some of the stigma associated with what I do for a living or what pure romance is all about, kind of take that out of the picture. So in November of 2014, I had reached out to one of our local morning shows. This was, after the news has ended, this is those morning shows that run locally in the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour. And I had reached out to one of my contacts on Facebook that ran the local news show and just put the bug in his ear and said, hey, this is what I do. I would love to come, onto the show before Valentine's Day and kind of run down some of our top products, especially for, husbands that have no idea what to buy their wives. Would that be okay? And I promised to keep it G-rated. And he replied back and he said, oh my gosh, yes. Contact me a little bit closer till, because I'm thinking, it's 4 months away or it's 3 months away. I need to get on this. And I guess they really only schedule their people a couple weeks out, but so at the beginning of February, I reached back out to him and I said, listen, Valentine's Day is in 2 weeks. Would you still be open to having me on the show? And he was really polite and he said, yeah, can you just kind of, send me a link of what you're thinking about featuring and what you're going to say about them. I don't want to lose my job. And I reassured him that I also didn't want to lose my job. So I would make sure that, it was completely G-rated. And so I went on a couple days before Valentine's Day. I had a quick, 3-minute segment. It was so quick. But I was able to run through our bath and beauty line, ran through some of our massage products, and then I had a blindfold and I think the tickle whip. So just 3 little gift package ideas that you could use for Valentine's Day. And, I made sure he got to see them beforehand, before the show started. I brought backups in case once we got there, it was going to be a little bit weird. And then just kind of ran down why these products are amazing, how people could book a party with me, how they could find me, and the benefit of adding these things to your bedroom for Valentine's Day. And it ended up going so well. He was still a little bit nervous, but I see him out and about fairly often now. We actually run in a lot of the same circles, so I always kind of give him a hard time. But I just talked to him 2 weeks ago, and I asked him if they'd be willing to have me come back this year, and he's on board. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, that is. I saw this segment, and if you get a chance, you have to go back and see the segment to watch his face. You did a phenomenal job. You were so tasteful, and you did such a great job. That was really good.
I know. I could sense the tension, but I also knew I had the massage gloves. I could try to work that tension out really easily.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to see the next segment and when it comes out again.
I'm excited. Well, hopefully with some of the new products that we're launching at the beginning of the year, we'll have some fun stuff to show everybody and still keep it G-rated for morning television.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, Meghan, thank you so much for your time and sharing your energy today. Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun talking with you. And again, if anybody has any questions for Miss Meghan, you can go to her website at pureromance.com/MeghanMeier.com or your WordPress.
Yep. And it's just prbymeghan.wordpress.com.
That's easy. prbymeghan.wordpress.com. Okay, perfect. That sounds awesome. And thank you so much. And definitely have a phenomenal evening.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And it's always good to see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.